Welcome to the Mouska Moms podcast, a Disney planning podcast where we enjoy quick conversations and cocktails with a Disney twist. We are your hosts, Jennifer, that's me, Lori.
Hi.
And Juliana.
Hey.
Today, we are so excited to have a guest on our show, and we're going to introduce him in a minute. It's Bonnie Cribbs. So if you guys are all of our listeners are huge Disney fans, so that name should definitely ring a bell to you. Bonnie is a past cast member. He also runs the happiest Facebook group on social media for the love of Disney World. And he owns Mouse Marketplace, which has the most adorable merchandise on it. And you know how we feel about our Disney merchandise. So he is kind of our perfect guest.
Hey, thank y'all so much for having me on today. I appreciate it. Y'all are fun.
We appreciate you. We're so happy.
I've got to say,
have
like
you.
right off the bat, interesting enough, one of my team members a while ago this morning sent me a text and said, "Hey, we were mentioned on a podcast. Here's the link," and it was from you guys, and it was your gift section from I guess
our holiday
Christmas.
giveaway.
And so I listened to it, and I was like, "That is so fun, and y'all are so nice." So thank you for all the kind things you said about us and our service during Christmas. That's awesome.
I mean, it's certainly not difficult to find kind things to say about you guys, because really, like we know all the garbage that's sometimes out there on social media, and I don't know how you run a group that's that big and that kind.
Yes.
So we're going to talk a lot about that in a minute, because that's like, bravo to you. But before we start talking, we always start our show off with a cocktail, or like we like to call it, our Mouska cocktail. So Juliana is going to bring that to us today.
Today's Mouska cocktail comes from the Festival of the Arts in Mexico. It's called the Bonbon Margarita Marshmallow. It's does that say illegal mezcal? Is that the brand of it?
Sure. Uh-huh.
I mean, that just makes
Lori,
me want to drink it more.
I'm just gonna tell everybody. I'm just gonna like
Lori copied and pasted from Disney.
Lori wrote this at like midnight when she was getting back from vacation. So, and I, of course, didn't read it ahead of time, but that's part of our charm, right? So it's mezcal reposado, marshmallow cordial. I don't know what that is.
I didn't know that existed.
What's that?
I didn't know marshmallow cordial existed.
I swear sometimes I think you do this just to stump me.
I do.
I mean, I do it to you. Mezcal reposado, marshmallow cordial, lime juice, agave nectar, and a hint of coffee and elderflower served with a toasted marshmallow. I'm going to pass, Lori.
I'm going to pass big time, which is sad because we're always looking for the next coffee cocktail, because we love the Tipsy Ducks in Love. We need to try the Viking coffee. But this, there's
coffee and elderflower and marshmallow and lime.
I would say, Bonnie, you've been to the Festival of the Arts already, correct?
I have several times, yes.
Okay, so did you see this one?
I'm not. Did you say it's in the Italy pavilion or in the Italy?
No, in Mexico.
Oh, in Mexico. Okay, well that makes a lot more sense with the agave and lime.
Did I say Italy? I could have.
I feel like Mexico has been trying really hard with their drinks lately to try and make them better. Like every festival, they're all brand new and they're like, try it. And every time I'm like, why? Why do you do this?
It's very pretty though. Have you seen pictures of it?
No.
Yes, you sent it to me.
It's a very pretty drink.
Some of these Festival of the Arts drinks are quite beautiful. And I think that that's intentional, right? Everything's about being visually pleasing at Festival of the Arts. So this one is really cute. It's not as beautiful as that purple one with the crystals. I can't remember what it's called. More on that when we do Festival of the Arts, for sure.
It's like orangey.
We're gonna have to get it.
All right, well, Bonnie, next time you go, take a look, see if you can see it.
Yeah, that's right, Bonnie. You get it.
Yeah. You take one for the team.
All right.
Now,
so let's get into it.
I thought for some reason you said it was in Italy, and I was like, it's just so interesting to me. I know this is off topic. Over in Italy, they seem to try so hard, and they never get it right. I don't know what it is about Italy, and it's Italian food and drinks and stuff. And you're like, how can they always mess up Italian food? It's, I mean, by the end of the festival, every festival, there's like no line in Italy. You're
I
like,
1000%
how do they
agree
keep
with
doing
you.
this?
Yeah. That's
Italy's
my
booth
biggest
is the
tip.
biggest too. It's the biggest. It has
Yeah.
the most room for the lines. It has
Yeah.
like all this space and there's nobody there.
And
But
it's
that's
really
my
shocking.
biggest tip. If you're starving in any festival,
Yeah.
just go to the Italy booth because there will be no
Exactly.
line.
And
And I
enjoy
agree with
mediocre
Bonnie.
food.
It's really shocking, particularly because Tutto Italia and Via Napoli are really yummy.
So
Yeah.
good.
So
Well,
those
that's
are the
it. I was like,
restaurants.
why don't
in
you just
Italy.
get a slice of pizza out of Via Napoli and just have a winner? You know, I don't know. It's just the craziest thing to me.
The
It
food
is
and
crazy.
drinks in the Italy Pavilion are always bad, unless you like Peroni or whatever that beer is, but
No.
or Stella, no, whatever it is.
It's not something that's unique though, because you can get that all the time in
Right.
Italy. So,
Right.
Right.
Anyway,
All right, so marshmallow margarita.
There you go.
pass.
Someone's gonna try it.
I'm gonna have to get it. We're there in what, week and a half. I'm gonna have to get it. All right.
Well, we want to compare all the coffee drinks.
But Mexico definitely always has the lines, and it's probably just for their standard margarita anyway. But they get it right. I mean, just when you walk in through Epcot, through Mexico, it's just the smells. All of a sudden, the restaurant in front of you, the restaurants behind you, everything in Mexico is just vibrant and alive, and so they get it right. So I would say it's worth a try, no matter what it sounds like, because they typically get it right.
You know, Bonnie, we have a ongoing debate on our podcast, and people have very strong feelings about this. When you go to Epcot, do you go left to Mexico or do you go right and start with Canada?
You know, I am probably a 50-50 person. I'm probably that person. Most of the time when I come into Epcot, I'm coming in through the International Gateway, and it totally depends on, because I go out to get my steps in at the parks all the time. And so it totally depends on, like, if I'm going out for a concert and I look at my watch and I'm like, okay, I've got 40 minutes, I'll take the long way around. And if I'm running late, I'm going straight there. So
Mhm.
but if I'm coming in through the gates and I'm there with friends, I'm always like, let's go to Mexico first. Like I'm a Mexico person first.
Yeah.
We go against the norm and
Yeah.
we lobby for Canada first.
We do now, though. We have to say and our listeners are sick of hearing us talk about this, to be honest with you. They even know our opinion. We used to be staunch Mexico. Lori was a staunch Canada because she's Canadian. So, but then we thought, oh, just during festivals, you got to go through Canada first because the booths are usually better that way.
Right.
And now I always do Canada first.
See,
Yeah.
Try it next time and get back to us.
Is there a reason behind that?
I think
The
that
food is better.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
And
it's just the booths. So like,
Yeah.
especially during festivals, Canada, Refreshment Port, they always have really good booths. Then you get to France and they have good booth. Like you're just hitting good booth after good booth after good booth, where I feel like the back end of,
and I think
China, Norway, and Mexico's good, but you got to break in between.
But I think most people go to Mexico because they start hitting the World Showcase around lunchtime. They know they want to eat, and Mexico draws you in. It really
Right.
is like
It does. What you
nostalgia
were
speaking.
saying.
Like back in
Yeah.
the day when I was a kid, Epcot was always like Mexico was the entrance.
Right.
Absolutely. And
So-
it does. It always smells delicious.
Yeah.
So I get it, but
I like to zig when others zag. So
There you go.
Honestly, I've gotten to the point now where even if I enter the International Gateway, I will go Canada and then I'll backtrack and go back.
me too.
Now, that's dedication.
I
Me
won't
too.
even keep going to Mexico. I'm like, nope, and we go back.
yeah,
Me too.
It's true.
It is true. Me too. And my husband gets annoyed, but I'm like, no, we have to. We have to. And then I'll hit Canada again at the end.
Yeah.
That's
See, it's all
great.
about Canada. All right. So, well, we just kind of started the interview, so I guess we can just kind of restart
Yeah.
it.
We're just
So-
chatting.
So, Bonnie, we are so excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming. And we have, I think Julia and I met you a year or two ago. I think it was a couple of years ago.
It was me. It
Oh,
was
was it?
me.
It
This
was
is,
you.
it was
funny
definitely me.
Before we went on air, Jen said the same thing. I think Juliana and I met you. I was like, I was not there.
I think it was when we were there for food and wine. Like we were still wearing masks. So
Yeah,
it was a
I
couple
think we're
years
all
ago.
masks. Yeah. So it was a bit ago, but I've seen you in and out of the parks a ton.
Always with a crowd.
Yes.
Always with a following of your loyal fans.
You are a very recognizable figure walking through the parks. What's that like? Like,
It's
is the
the
guest
hairdo I have.
annoying? I mean, maybe that's a question you don't want to answer, but what's it like to be a celebrity, Bonnie?
Oh my gosh, I'm not by any means whatsoever. When I go out to the park, it is interesting. I on a given day, I'm out there 3-4 hours, and I'll get recognized these days maybe 4 or 5 times. So it's not overwhelming, and it's
Mhm.
nice because I really do. We've got incredible members. They're super nice, super kind, fun, loyal, and I love meeting people. And so it's super fun. But I have thought about, I've seen some of the big YouTubers out there, and every time I've seen them, there's like multiple people walking up to them all the time. And I thought, I don't want that. That's not a
Right.
desire, because I love going to the parks to have fun and to enjoy it. And 4 is manageable, 5 is manageable. But if you got into where it's like every other minute someone's walking up, I don't know that would be fun for me. Obviously, they know what they signed up for. That's what they were, what they were trying to achieve. But it's fun. I love meeting people, so it works out nice.
And I
It's like
have a feeling, I have a feeling for every 4 or 5 people who come up to you, there are another 4 or 5 who are like too shy to come
yeah.
up to you, and who feel like, because I mean, we try to do a lot of opening day events. So opening day of Food and
Yeah,
Wine, opening day of Flower and Garden. So that tends to be the day where all of the podcasters, all of
right.
the YouTubers, everybody comes out of the woodwork. And, I tend to just look from afar and be like, oh, I know them. Oh, I know them. Oh,
Right.
cool.
I know. I'm even real celebrities. I'm always, not that you're not a real celebrity. You're a real celebrity
No,
to
I'm
me,
not.
Bonnie.
Not
But
a
I have to
celebrity.
say, so on this topic, Lori and I got recognized once, which was once. And
Once.
we've been at this for a little while, where but that one time was such a thrill, because you get to just be excited about Disney and share sort of a common interest. You feel like you know the person already from their comments on your pages and stuff. It was really sweet and fun, and I loved it. I could handle it 3 or 4 times every trip. I could do
Exactly.
that.
That's
Yeah.
not so bad. But I do have um, COVID brain really bad, I can remember faces really well, or I have been able in the past. I'm bad with names, but what gets really awkward though is when I introduce, they say my name or whatever, and hey, I'm Bonnie. What's your name? And then it's like, well, I've met you twice, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like I have no.
Right.
I really do think it's the COVID brain, but I just feel so awkward because there's just so many folks, and I get, just because I watch celebrities on TV and I watch people on TV, and I get that I know things about them that they'd be amazed that I know about them. And so but it feels so awkward. It just, because I am not a celebrity. I am not anything that's up there. And so it just feels so awkward when there's like that. I don't know. It just feels weird. So
Well, you
over here,
handle it
being
beautifully.
respected. So, pardon.
You
I
you handle it beautifully.
Yes.
Because whenever we see you, it's broadcast everywhere whenever anybody sees you in the parks, because
Yeah.
people are so excited to post on your Facebook pages, look who I ran into, and you do selfies with everybody, which is really, again, like talking before about how you have created the nicest community on Facebook. I think everybody does feel like they know you and they know everything about you, and how nice it is to be able to see you and get this selfie and post it on. It's
good
But
to have
this is the cool part of that you ask me how it feels, and it's not so much being recognized that feels good as it is the stories that I get to hear. And it's hundreds of these kind of stories of you have helped so much. I've been through a depression, or I've gone through a divorce, or I've gone through, my husband dying, or, all these, I mean, life is hard, and people just specifically naming the things that they've gone through. And like, just thank you for sharing Disney with me. Thank you for sharing, the ride of Splash Mountain, or taking us on Expedition Everest, or this or that. And when they're sitting there just saying, I don't think I could have made it through that tough time without those experiences of Disney, it makes me feel like, okay, I'm doing something of value that really is bringing some joy and happiness into the world. And that part feels so amazing. So it's the celebrity aspect of it, of being noticed. I'm not ego driven or anything like that. That makes me feel awkward. I don't get it. But when people tell me that their life has been made different because of the joy that I've been able to spread, or through just through them getting through a tough time. And that's the story almost every single time that I hear of, you've helped me through this tough time just by sharing Disney with me. That's the part. And as travel agents, and that's what you guys are getting to share with your clients, of it's not a vacation. You're creating lifetime memories. You're creating, you're helping them create memories, and just these core memories. Yesterday, it was so fun watching. Yesterday was the last day of Splash Mountain being able to be ridden. And so it was so fun seeing people post pictures from when they were kids, or, from 10 years ago, 12 years ago, of Splash Mountain. And it's like, those are core, they still have those pictures, So I don't know. It's just really fun of knowing that I'm getting to share that joy and excitement with folks.
Absolutely. It's sharing the magic of Disney experiencing the magic of Disney is one thing. Sharing it with other people, family, total strangers, whatever, it's really a joy. It really is.
It really is.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Mouse are avid travel enthusiasts, and our podcast is sponsored by Kingdom and Cruise Travel. If you're interested in booking a vacation to Disney or any other worldwide destination, be sure to check out our website, kingdomandcruise.com, and our Facebook page at Kingdom and Cruise Travel. So since you brought it up, Bonnie, do we need to talk about Splash Mountain?
We can't. Well, okay. So you mentioned a while ago, Jennifer, about all those days, like yesterday, when all the bloggers are there and all the influencers are there. And I don't consider myself a blogger nor an influencer, but I'm typically out there at those opening moments and those closing moments. And I bet yesterday I was not asked more than probably 50 times of, are you going to be there? And going to Disney to me is about joy and happy and creating fun memories and stuff. And on so many levels, Splash Mountain closing was about none of that. And there's so many there's so many happy memories associated with it. I didn't want to go. I'm like, that would be sad to go and see this thing go away. And then for the reasons and stuff that it's having to go away, it would just be tough to go through. So I didn't want to go. So I'm like, I feel obligated to go. And I never like feeling obligated to do anything from that standpoint. But I was like, I'm not going to go because do I really want to go stand in line for 3 hours for something that's going to make me sad? That seems so anti-Disney. It just seems, it's just not the purpose of it, or why I enjoy it. Now, for those folks that went, they got their last ride in. I got my last ride in. It was just a week ago. So, and I was with friends. I had hands up in the air. I was fun. But
which is the best send off for the ride. Because that still is a happy, though, I was kind of glued to social media yesterday, and my favorite things to see were the videos of everybody cheering. Like there were crowds watching the big drop, and everybody was cheering, and the people on that was really nice.
It looked like it ended up being a surprisingly, ironically cheerful atmosphere.
Yeah, that's good.
But
cheering.
But Lori's like you. She did not go for the last ride. She went a week ago, or a couple of weeks ago, or a month ago, whatever it was. She's always going somewhere. I don't know. but it's just the life of a
What you
travel
do.
agent, right?
Yes. No,
Um,
yeah, I mean, we honestly, we extended it. My kids remember, my kids are, 10, 9, and I guess 4, but every single one, the biggest moment for them was when they were tall enough to go on Splash Mountain. Like that was
Oh,
their
that's
big
awesome.
thing. And that was my big thing when I grew up going there was Splash Mountain was my ride. And that's for the kids, that was their ride. And my middle one lost it when he heard it was closing. And we got on the ride for the last one and he got upset. And I looked at him, I go, you need to enjoy it. We need to have fun. We're going to do fun pictures going down. And I said, you need to enjoy it. But we had fun, but no, I was teary eyed at the end. And my husband's like, do you want to ride it again? I'm like, I can't. I'm done. I can't do it again. I need to be done. But no, I have thrown my tantrum for what they told us like a year and a half ago. I've been throwing it every day.
And
Yeah.
I have to say, Bonnie, like I've been laughing at her every day because the ride is not. We go. This is why it's a touchy subject for the Mouse Moms because I am sitting in the opposite camp. I think from all three of you, like the ride is not closing forever. The ride will still be the exact same ride. It's just being rethemed. And to be perfectly frank, for whatever the reasons the retheme, I don't put that aside. I think this ride lends itself to Tiana like in the best way. It is absolutely perfect. I've always thought it would be a great.
Where are their
value ride.
mountains? Where are their mountains? in
Fair
Louisiana?
point. Fair point. Fair point.
Where?
But in fairness, there are also no mountains in Song of the South. So that argument's no good.
Nobody's had to think about that for 20 years.
But here's the thing. I think it comes down to nostalgia, right? And Lori's kids like loved this ride. And I think that the biggest reason that I don't care if it changes and I want to see it change, one, because I love Tiana, but my kids were actually frightened, not by the drop, but by the scenes in the inside part of the ride. They didn't like watching the rabbit get chased and caught or any of that. It really bothered them. So I'm happy. Happy to see it go.
So Disney over the last couple of years has just not shown up like they have in years past. And so with the remake of some of the shows and remakes of, reimagining of this they've not really done a good job. And that's the part that scares me because I feel like
I am
Tiana,
concerned.
I love Princess and the Frog. And I feel like that I just don't want them to go cheap on it because if they do what they did to Frozen and it's just a same ride, just different pictures, I don't think that's doing justice to Tiana of what it could be. And and there's already those rumors out there of, that they're using some of the same animatronics, they're using some of this, it's the same ride, which almost makes me feel like, they're going to do it on the cheap. And, that
is a fair point.
I just feel like they could have done so much better with a new experience. And I want a restaurant, like give me some jambalaya and gumbo and some beignets over there. And I really do hope that they'll put Louisiana next to the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So it's, I don't know how.
They're doing it in Disneyland, right? So they're putting in a restaurant in New Orleans Square, right?
Yeah, Disneyland gets everything.
You always make me doubt myself when I say these things, and everybody just
right. I agree with you. Disneyland gets everything.
They do, but it's a smaller scale, and you can sort of understand why they would start there. I think you're right. I think there's a very strong chance I'm going to be disappointed by this overhaul, and I as much as I love Frozen, I did not like the fact that they did that. So I think I see your points, and from the renderings I've seen, I'm not too impressed with I'm hoping they'll do more.
But that said, on Fantasmic, when they reimagined that, it actually got better. So
how could it have gotten better? It was so good. Yeah. I'm excited.
I went there the first night and I was expecting, okay, they're gonna dumb down the number of cast members. They're gonna dumb down this. There's not going to be fire on the lagoon, all that. And everything had actually gotten so much better. And I loved it. Like I legit go to Fantasmic once a week. And I was blown away by how it got better. And so I'm like, okay, Disney can do better. So let's just see if they do. But
tips for an excellent tips for an excellent Fantasmic experience. I'm not gonna be able to see it until April.
Tips for it, go to it. It's incredible. So you don't
Yeah.
need the
Are
dining
people-
package right now. You don't need the dining package or anything like that for it. You
Okay.
can just go and. Matter of fact, I think this is one of the weird things that those who sit in the dining package, they get the center of the theater, but they're not the best seats, and
Mhm.
because they've got poles on both sides, and I just think it's weird
Right.
that.
I totally agree. I think that the old fast pass seats were better than the dining package
Oh, yeah.
seats, but it's not part of Genie Plus yet. I wonder if they'll add it. I don't know.
If they start
Remains to
filling
be
up, they
seen.
will.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a
that's
great
good.
show.
That's good to know. That's a good review. So I can't wait to see that one. So you
It's
never
so
know.
good.
I guess it remains to be seen what Tiana will bring to the party, but I don't know. I'm hopeful. We'll see.
I hope she brings some beignets,
Yeah.
gumbo.
That's what I'm saying. If she can bring some beignets to Magic Kingdom Park and not have to go to French Quarter, then I might forgive her at some point.
What if
Exactly.
they replaced the egg roll cart with a beignet cart,
Stop
Lori?
No.
she's gonna
Leave
kill
my
you next
egg
week.
alone.
I love to poke her buttons about Tiana. Okay.